Everything was set up to go wrong. The scoreline, the clock, the pressure. But that's football for you. When everyone else had given up, someone still believed. It wasn't about tactics, it wasn't about logic. It was all about soul, because in these moments, the one with the most heart is the one left standing. Today, you're going to see part 3 of the most thrilling comebacks in football history, kicking things off with a Cristiano Ronaldo masterclass in Europe's biggest tournament. It was a Champions League night, the quarterfinals of the 2015 to 2016 season. Real Madrid was under the cosh in the first leg in Germany. The unbelievable happened, a 2-0 win for Wolfsburg. The Meringue side needed to turn it around at the Santiago Bernabeu. It was all or nothing, and when everything seems to fall apart, Cristiano Ronaldo steps up, and Real Madrid came out firing from the first whistle. Bale was the engine down the right flank, Kroos was pulling the strings, and the German side, dreaming of a historic qualification, started to feel the heat. Around the 15-minute mark, the first blow landed. Carvajal sent in a low cross. Cristiano Ronaldo popped up unmarked at the back stick to tap it in. 1-0. The Bernabeu erupted. That was just the start. There was barely time to breathe. 2 minutes later, a corner from the right. Kroos whipped it in with pace. Cristiano beat the defense to it and planted a firm header. The ball nestled in the back of the net. 2-0, the aggregate score was level. Pure scenes on the bench. Despair for the Germans. Real didn't let up. They kept pressing, pushing, suffocating them. Wolfsburg tried to get a foothold in the second half, but the night belonged to one man. Cristiano wanted more, and he got it. In the 74th minute, Modric was brought down for a dangerous free kick just outside the box. Cristiano placed the ball carefully, calculated steps, a fixed stare, a deep breath. He ran up and curled it with spin right through the wall. The ball flew past and bamboozled the keeper, Benaglio. 3-0, a hat trick, an explosion of noise at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid had turned the tie around in style. Cristiano Ronaldo carried the team on his back, the hero in the second leg. Another European night for the number 7 to write his name in the history books. The next comeback is one of the greatest games of all time, the 2004/2005 Champions League final. The Ataturk Olympic Stadium in Istanbul. Liverpool versus Milan, a final between giants that would become the most unbelievable match in the tournament's history. The whole world witnessed what would come to be known as the miracle of Istanbul. Right from the first minute, Milan showed they weren't messing about. Pirlo took a free kick from the right, swinging the ball towards Maldini, who appeared like a striker, and hit it on the first time. A crisp volley into the corner. The keeper, Dudek, got a hand to it but couldn't keep it out. 1-0 to Milan right from the off. The Rossoneri kept dominating. Kaká, on fire, was floating between the Liverpool lines. On 38 minutes, he drove through the middle and set up Shevchenko on the right. The Ukrainian squared it low and found Crespo free at the far post to slot it home. 2-0, and what looked like a footballing lesson got even more brutal. 6 minutes later, Kaká again sliced through the English midfield with an insane pass. Crespo controlled it with class and chipped it over the onrushing Dudek. 3-0 to Milan. End of the first half. It looked all over, but it only looked that way because Liverpool came out a different team, and the comeback started quick. 53 minutes in, the fullback Rize crossed from the left, and Gerrard appeared in the middle of the defense like a flash. He placed a perfect header into the opposite corner past Dida. 3-1. Gerrard ran to the halfway line, geeing up the crowd. It was the start of the impossible. In the very next minute, the midfielder Heyman got it in the middle. Notice how Kaká was fixing his socks. The German found the forward Smicer. He took a touch and didn't think twice. Smashed it from outside the box, low and hard. Dida stretched, but couldn't get there. 3-2. Milan was rattled. Liverpool believed. 4 more minutes, and Gerrard was brought down in the box by the midfielder Gattuso. Penalty. Xabi Alonso stepped up. Dida saved it, but on the rebound, the Spaniard smashed it into the roof of the net. Level. 3-3. In 6 minutes, Liverpool had wiped out a final that seemed already written. The game went to extra time with Milan trying to pick themselves up. Shevchenko had the match winner on a plate, one-on-one with Dudek, but the keeper pulled off a miraculous save. Then came the penalties. Dudek, inspired, saved Pirlo's spot kick. He denied Shevchenko's shot, and that meant Liverpool won 3-2 on penalties, from 3-0 down to 3-3, from written off to champions. It was the miracle. It was the day Istanbul turned red. The next historic comeback happened in the quarterfinals of the 2017/2018 Champions League season. In the first leg, at the Camp Nou, the Spanish side hammered the Italians without mercy, 4-1 to Barca. It seemed like just another day at the office for Messi, Suarez, Iniesta, and company. But what nobody expected was that the Stadio Olimpico in Rome would be the stage for one of the most epic chapters in the competition's history. With less than 6 minutes on the clock, the midfielder De Rossi looked up and played a perfect long ball. The ball dropped to Dzeko, who left Umtiti and Jordi Alba for dead as if they were training cones. One-on-one with Ter Stegen, the number 9 just had to slide it past the keeper. 1-0 Roma. The stands went absolutely mental. Hope was born. Barca tried to kill the game's tempo, but Roma's intensity was relentless. After the break, the pressure continued, and 12 minutes into the second half, De Rossi popped up again, this time to be the decider. Dzeko received a through ball, shielded it inside the box, and was brought down by Piqué. Penalty. The Roman captain stepped up to take it. A powerful strike into the left corner. Ter Stegen guessed the right way, but it was no use. 2-0, just one more to go. The impossible was just a goal away. Roma didn't sit back. Pushed on by over 60,000 voices, they kept attacking. Barca could barely breathe, and the final blow came on 82 minutes. A corner from the right. The young winger Jr stepped up to take it. At the near post, the defender Manolas got ahead of his man and headed it with surgical precision. The ball died in the corner, with Ter Stegen rooted to the spot. 3-0 Roma, 4-4 on aggregate, but now the Italians were going through on away goals. The final minutes were pure drama. Barcelona hoofed the ball into the box at every opportunity, but Roma held firm. And when the referee blew the final whistle, it was absolute pandemonium. The giant had fallen. Roma had risen. A historic comeback, the kind you never forget. A magical night in Rome, eternal. The next match decided the champion of South America, the 2019 Copa Libertadores final, the first ever single-leg final. The stage, the Estadio Monumental in Lima, Peru. On one side, the reigning champions River Plate, used to the big stage. On the other, Flamengo, with perhaps the strongest team in their history. And the promise of an epic game would be delivered in the final minutes. Like something out of a movie script, just 14 minutes in, River showed their strength. The midfielder Nacho Fernandez threw himself at the ball to keep it in play. Even from the ground, he managed to send a low cross into the box. The midfielders Gerson and Willian Aro got in each other's way, and the ball fell perfectly for the striker Rafael Borré. The Colombian hit it first time into the corner past the keeper Diego Alves. 1-0 to the Argentinians. Flamengo felt the sting. River shut up shop with compact lines, pressing high up the pitch with intensity, and Flamengo couldn't find a way through. Time was ticking away. The chances weren't coming. The title seemed to be slipping through the fingers of the Rubro Negros, until, with 2 minutes left on the clock, a spark appeared. The winger, Bruno Henrique, got the ball on the left, surrounded by 4 defenders, but he managed to find the midfielder Arrascaeta inside the box. The Uruguayan, even while sliding, played a pinpoint pass to the striker Gabigol at the far post. A first-time touch. The net bulged! The equalizer. The Brazilian fans went wild, but it wasn't over yet. Minutes later, already in stoppage time, the midfielder Diego launched it long from his own half. Gabigol gambled on it. The River center-back pairing failed to clear it, and Flamengo's number 9 controlled it and leathered it with his left foot. No chance for the keeper, Armani. The turnaround, 2-1 Flamengo. River was stunned. There was no response. The final whistle sounded like an explosion in the hearts of the Flamengo faithful. Flamengo was back on top of America, with a comeback that went straight into Libertadores history. Gabigol became a legend, and Lima became the stage for a Brazilian miracle. Another comeback from Europe's biggest competition, this time in the round of 16 of the 2011-2012 Champions League. Chelsea, with an interim manager, a criticized squad, and a season full of ups and downs, faced Napoli, who had won the first leg 3-1. It looked like the end of the road, but what happened at Stamford Bridge that night was the first chapter of an epic campaign. Around the 28th minute, hope began to flicker. The midfielder Ramirez broke down the left and whipped in a perfect cross. The striker Drogba Drogba, clutch as always, threw himself at the ball and headed it into the corner past the keeper De Sanctis. 1-0 Chelsea. It was just the beginning. The start of the second half was electric. Just 2 minutes after the restart, the midfielder Lampard took a corner from the right. The defender John Terry got to it at the near post and headed it in with class. 2-0, the Blues were alive, but Napoli didn't give up. 8 minutes later, the ball fell to the midfielder Inler on the edge of the box, and he chested it down. Without letting it drop, he unleashed a thunderbolt with his right foot. No chance for the keeper, Petr Cech. 2-1, Napoli back in the lead. Time was running out, and the drama was building. On the 75-minute mark, Chelsea won a corner. The defender Ivanovic went up, headed it, and the ball struck the arm of the fullback Dawsona. Penalty. Frank Lampard stepped up and made no mistake. Smashed it right down the middle. 3-1 Chelsea. All square on aggregate. The game went to extra time. And then Stamford Bridge erupted on 105 minutes. Ramirez burst down the right, passed to Drogba, who turned and sent a low cross into the box. Ivanovic appeared like a striker. He smashed it, bulging the back of the net. 4-1 Chelsea. The comeback was complete. The final whistle confirmed their spot in the next round. It was the start of a magical journey that would end with the club's first ever Champions League title. And if you've watched the video this far, you've got to drop a like, right? Subscribe to the channel and check out these videos popping up on your screen that I'm sure you'll love. My name is Christian Castro, and I'll see you in the next video.